My water's a cube.
My water is a cylinder.
The shape of water.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Ordinary Critics. This is episode 3. My name is Isaac.
My name is Carlos, and we're just two ordinary guys reviewing extraordinary movies.
So, as we all know, the Oscars were this past Sunday.
That's right, talking about extraordinary movies, the Oscars happened, so we know which one was the most extraordinary movie of the whole of 2017, which was...
The Shape of Water.
The Shape of Water.
And we liked it. We liked it.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was great. It was great.
Yeah, so basically what you need to know about this movie, the whole
Yes.
premise is, without any spoilers, is we first start with this woman called Eliza, and she works as a janitor in this super secret government facility.
Yes. In the 1960s, Cold War era type thing. So lots of secret, lots of military, all that stuff.
Yeah. So one day she gets asked to go into this lab to clean up, where it just so happens that they have this weird amphibious creature, human-like thing. And she ends up befriending it and having a
very unique relationship.
Yeah, very unique.
And so there you go. There is the general premise, a very brief summary. So now we're gonna get into spoilers. So if you just want to hear about that, and then we're gonna give our grades at the end. So there's gonna be a comment below with that time mark on it. So if you want to just see what we graded it, and then go watch the movie, then come back and check us out, it's all good.
Yeah, please.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So from here on out, there will be spoilers, and you've been warned.
Plots.
Yes. The basic thing, the main thing that we left out is that Eliza is mute. So the way she communicates is through a lot of sign language and a lot of mouthing words and trying to figure that out.
Yeah. So basically, the plot is your classic.
Boy or girl meets
fish story. No, it's a classic love story of a girl meets this creature and they end up falling in love.
Yes.
And they have
People don't want them together.
People don't want them together. Actually, they want to kill the creature, so they have to run away.
Yes.
She saves his life.
It's fight scene at the end.
Yeah, there's a fight. Yeah,
and a bunch of people die.
Yeah, a bunch of people.
It's very. We compared it to a twisted modern day Romeo and Juliet.
Yes, we actually find a lot of the Russians and the Americans. What, you mean the Montagues and the Capulets?
Right. Yeah.
So
it's very similar in those regards.
Yeah, but other than that, it's just your classic love story. She is mute, like he said, and which brings a lot of depth to her performance.
Yes.
And a lot of meaning. The creature also kind of communicates with sign language.
Learning it from her.
Which
so that's how they communicate, and that's where it really starts. And there's a beautiful scene where she's kind of telling about the creature to the father figure. And as this creature doesn't see me as a mute. It sees me for what I really am, and there's nothing less how other people see me, and it's a beautiful moment. And so I think that one sentence describes her character of she just wants belonging and she wants acceptance, and this creature who doesn't understand us finally gives that to her.
Yeah, so they identify with each other, and that's a beautiful thing. There's a moment in where she goes into a speech, signed speech, which is just amazing how she ends up identifying with the creature more than with actual humans. Yeah. So that was very interesting. She's from the water, and what is she? Because she can't speak, so she can't communicate like every other person. And so she ends up identifying with the creature, and that's what bonds them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they have that kind of that outlier bond with each other. I'm not normal in this world, neither am I. Mm-hmm. Oh, that means that's our thing in common. Let's expand upon that.
Yeah. It's a classic love story, like we said. More or less, people are saying Beauty and the Beast. We saw more of Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
But it's a classic, and yet this take is very refreshing, I have to say.
Yeah.
It's something that we've seen something like it, but not quite. And with the visuals of Guillermo del Toro, it's worth a watch.
Yes, we highly recommend this movie. Yeah. So and it's been out for a couple months now, right?
Yes.
Is that right? So yeah. I believe it will be leaving theaters soon. So go check it out if you can, or if whenever it comes to Blu-ray, DVD, and all that stuff. They still have DVDs.
I don't know.
Digitally download or whatever. Whenever that happens.
Amazon, buy it over Amazon.
Yes, go rent it on Amazon. Go to Blockbusters don't exist anymore. I was gonna say Blockbuster.
Wow! He's showing his age.
I'm showing my age.
You wanna get a cassette tape?
Let's do it.
Be kind. Rewind, please.
All right. Next up. So
that's the summary of the plot. It's your classic. It's not very complicated. We all know it. We've seen it 1,000 times.
It was very predictable, but I enjoyed the predictability of it.
Yeah, it was a nice movie. It was a nice. Yes. I was saying a lot of times, a lot of the other movies really hammered you on with how do I say it? That the issues, the social issues.
Yes.
And I think right now we're looking out for a little bit of an escape from all that.
Just the Best Picture nominees.
Yeah, but the Best Picture nominees, yes. So while all of them were throwing a lot of racial conflict.
Yes.
And
there is a hint of that.
There is a hint because of the times.
It's you're right. It's more to set up like the time period rather than focusing on the racial issues of that time.
Yeah, but it was a nice escape from the world that we are living in and giving us a happy ending of these two creatures, two different beings that end up together. And
they can't really identify with the rest of the human population, but they identify with each other, and that's the most important thing to them.
So moving on.
Yes, we have
the cast.
Yes.
Cast was amazing. Sally Hawkins played Eliza.
Yes, and I didn't see 3 Billboards, but I'm surprised that okay, this is a bold statement. Bold statement. I'm surprised she didn't get the Oscar for Best Actress because she spoke so much without speaking.
Yeah.
And communicated so much without speaking.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Incredible.
It was amazing how far she could get across.
Yes.
Without speaking a single word.
Yeah.
That blew my mind.
Yeah.
Even her facial features, they morphed slightly to suggest.
So subtle.
Yeah,
so
it was
subtle.
very subtle,
but you knew exactly what she was saying.
Yeah, it spoke volumes.
Yes, it was gripping entertaining, but also just completely enthralling and mesmerizing.
Yeah,
almost.
she definitely hypnotized you on the
camera.
Yes. You wanted to see more of her all the time.
Yes.
So she was great cast. The same as Doug Jones, who you may know from Hellboy, Pan's Labyrinth.
He's the creature guy.
It's the creature guy.
If you saw him, you would be like, I don't know who this is. But then you look at his resume and you're like, oh,
that was him.
He's in over 100 movies as creatures.
My butt, Doug Jones. Yeah.
But, it's ridiculous. And he's the amphibian. Or amphibious creature, whatever they call him. And just that takes a lot.
Yeah,
it takes a lot of patience.
Yeah, he has this quality. The makeup apparently took 3 hours or so?
3 or 4 hours a day.
3 or 4 hours a day.
Shooting.
But the most amazing quality, he's a mime. I was reading about him, and he's a mime. So that he brings that quality of movement to all his characters, and it was great because this is an amphibian creature, so to have that kind of suspension and slow movement was actually it's always great to watch, and he had this physicality of what an amphibian creature, a humanoid creature would be. Honestly, the cast was very strong, including the bad guy called I started calling him in my head General Zod. It's the guy who played General Zod.
He did.
His name is Michael Shannon.
Yes.
And he was also great, very intimidating.
He was for this time period, I feel like he was the perfect bad guy.
Yeah.
He was just, he knew exactly what he wanted. He knew how to get it as a character. And when he didn't get the things that he wanted, he was like, okay, back to the drawing board. Like, there's like the pep talk that he gives himself in the bathroom, and he's like, what do? You close deals. You close it. You're a closer. And like, so he's like, because he was like defeated because they just escaped or something like that.
Yeah, the problem is that's when he went crazy. I always say, you hear the voices in your head, but you don't answer them. And he was answering them. And that's when you go like, you snap. You see, I hear them, but I don't answer them.
But it's okay. They're there. Hey, Carlos.
What?
Yeah, no.
Oh, sorry.
No, don't listen to him.
Okay.
No. Knock it off.
Okay. Moving on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, the cast is amazing. Know that.
Yes, absolutely.
And moving on to continuity and immersion.
Yes. The world that they created, it wasn't hard to get into because, like I said, it's 1960s.
We know this world. We've seen it in a million movies.
Exactly. And the only unreal aspect of it was this amphibian creature. So it was very easy to get immersed in this movie and had no continuity issues. Like I said, the plot wasn't complicated, so you weren't trying to think back and forth of like, oh, is this like a thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who is who again? What time? No.
Very straightforward. Time it's
linear.
Yes, which is great. Yeah, they did a good job.
Yeah,
of creating,
and you just wanted to
world.
see. Honestly, you kind of wanted to move it forward. You wanted to see what the relationship, what it's gonna end up being between the two. Between Eliza and the creature.
Yeah.
You always wanted it to move forward because while you wanted that to happen, you also wanted to see what happened with Michael Shannon's character.
Yes.
You also was like, is he gonna catch him? What's gonna happen? Is he gonna kill the creature because that's what he wanted to perform an autopsy? Autopsy. Yeah. On this creature to learn from it that way. While other people wanted to save it because, it's a unique creature. Mm-hmm. So you always wanted to see what happened next. I never felt bored. I never felt like, okay, I can take a break here. No.
Right.
I always wanted to know more. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Cool. Moving
on. Soundtrack.
It was great.
Yeah.
No bad things about it.
No, nothing bad to say about the music. The music... It was exactly what I wanted from Annihilation. They take you. There's one big problem. So the music fits perfectly with the tone of every scene.
Yes, the background music, the songs that they chose because there's like a couple diner scenes.
Yeah.
So the actual songs they chose. It won Best Composition, right?
Yes, I think so. Of original movie.
We'll double check that. Yeah, it was well deserved. It fit, like you said, it fit the tone. It fit the era. It was very 60s, but also like had this symphony quality to it and just heightened everything.
For me, it felt like it was a little not a jukebox. It was a music box. For me, it felt like a little music box that was slightly slightly sci-fi in its tonality.
Yeah.
And it felt like somebody wound the box and then they let it play, and that's what we were watching.
Yeah.
And that was a very odd, nice feeling that I really enjoyed. It was this story that was happening and unfolding in front of my eyes out of a music box. It was great.
And I appreciated the underscoring because you have the scenes with Eliza and the amphibian, and it's just this underscoring that sets the tone of their conversation that they're not even speaking in.
Yeah, and remember, they're quiet. They're silent. They're silent.
So it's either like looks that they're giving each other, or like trying to mimic, or like teaching actual sign language, and it's the underscoring of those moments helped.
Yeah,
it enhanced those moments, which was it was beautiful.
It was, and Guillermo del Toro did a great job at picking the music.
Yes.
Like the songs, there's even some musical moments. They did tributes to musicals. They did a tribute to what's the movie? I think it's Anchors Away.
Okay.
Is it
The Stairs?
Follow the Fleet. It's Follow the Fleet.
I don't know. I know what you're talking about with Bojangles and Shirley Temple.
Yeah, no, it's that's one moment. But there's another one. I think it's Follow the Fleet. Let's Face the Music and Dance. It's the same set that Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers danced in at the very end of the movie.
Yes.
So it's very interesting in this whole love story, there's a very interesting musical tribute too, which I was not expecting. They tap dance.
They did. I was
She-
like, oh,
she tap dances out of nowhere, and it was a fantastic surprise.
yeah, it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
I loved it. All right. What's up next?
Cinematography. Guillermo del Toro, that's all we have to say.
Thank you.
That is
That's it.
Yeah.
It's just he has such a vision when he makes these movies, and you can just tell that he's like, yep, this is exactly what I was thinking in my mind, and he gets every detail just right. Like the color of the amphibian, it was every color but red. He wanted to use everything but red. Mm-hmm. Or but green.
But was
it green?
Yeah, they use both red and green.
Yes,
in some way.
Yeah.
Or other, and green is the theme mostly because of the creature. The creature is green, and I was reading about this. Somebody made a very interesting point while I was reading, and they said like Michael Shannon's character, the bad guy, he ends up saying that he hates green. Mm. So hence he's saying like he hates the creature. So it's they use the colors in ways also to storytell and give characters motivations too. So the colors itself are a tool.
Yeah.
In storytelling, which is genius.
Yeah.
I have to say.
It's brilliant.
I realized that. Not only is it called The Shape of Water, but he also uses water in a lot of his scenes. Even when they're far away from the lab, someone's drinking a glass of water.
Yeah, it's always there.
It's kind of always present during the whole movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have to say, it's genius. It's honestly great to watch.
Yes.
It's a masterclass watching this movie.
Yes. You're getting a glimpse into the mind of Guillermo del Toro, which is terrifying, but also it's beautiful at the same time.
Yeah, because Pan's Labyrinth was kind of terrifying. Hellboy is creating this other thing.
He loves his monsters.
Yeah, but this one is creating a beautiful monster, and that's also interesting. How do you create a creature and then have a beautiful person like Eliza fall in love with this creature, and then you're so okay with it because you end up seeing they belong together.
Yeah.
And you want them together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not weird at all. It's amazing. Guillermo del Toro. Props.
Good work. All right, so we're here at the report card. It is time.
All right.
Here we go.
So plot.
I gave it an 8.
I give it an 8 too.
All right, we have the cast. I gave it a 10.
I gave it a 10 too. Amazing cast.
All right, we have continuity and immersion. I gave it an 8.
And I give it a 9.
So soundtrack, I gave it a 10.
10.
And cinematography, I also gave it a 10.
10 again. Thank you, Guillermo. Guillermo.
So for a total, that brings us to a 93, 1 point shy of our current leader of Black Panther. But yeah, I believe that is an A minus, depending on your grading scale.
Yeah, it's an A. It's a solid A for me.
Solid A. I went to Catholic school, so we had a 7-point scale, so that was right on the border.
You know what? Me too, but whatever. He's trying to make himself sound special.
We're giving it an A. Go check it out.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you, and as always,
stay ordinary.